So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we're taking a look at the Dongfeng Flagship. Now I've never heard of this truck before, so I'm not too sure what to expect, so let's get straight into this. Now the truck is available from Scania dealers, so if we just start by with the cabin, only one to choose from, the space, only one chassis, a 6x4. Not a lot of options so far. Only one engine, 540 horsepower, 2,650 newton meters of torque. I'm not too sure if that's this truck's own engine. I feel like I've seen that before. It might be a Volvo engine, but I'm not completely sure. Transmission, only a 12-speed without a retarder. No retarder option here. On the interior, it is very brown. There's like different shades here. You've got this lighter brown, darker brown, this lighter grey, grey here, black down here. Well, there's a lot going on. I feel like that's borrowed heavily from a DAF. But this seems a bit weird. It's almost like a car interior. And the dashboard here. And the steering wheel as well. It's quite unusual. I'm guessing that's a sat-nav. But it looks like an auto. It's not too bad, the quality in here, to be honest. There's some of the lighting looks a bit odd. Colours, we've got crystal white, shadow grey, or custom colour, and then custom metallic, which doesn't look like it's working properly. Yeah, the metallic doesn't work. That is not good at all, so I'm going to have to go for a solid colour. Now, loads of different options. As you can see, we can do nothing to the mirrors, nothing to the mirror here, nothing to that mirror. Can't even remove that mirror. You can change the wheels and tyres though, which is a lot of configuration, to be honest. It's probably better than the Scania by RJL. It's that detailed. You can't change the plastic down here, so you can change the colour and wheels. That is pretty much it. On the interior, you can add a wheel sort of spinnery thing, and nothing else. Or you can add the mirror in. Wow, that is weird. But yeah, I'm not going to bother doing a time lapse to my spec because there isn't much configuration to see. So I'll meet you when I've chosen my colour and done my wheels. So here we are, all, well, not fully configured. We've chosen the paint and chosen the wheels. Now I've tried to go for a colour that sort of complements the interior, so like a darkish blue, but it just seems really reflective and it doesn't really have many shadows along the bodywork. It looks a bit weird and sort of super reflective. I mean, look at that up there. Then you got this really dark shadow under the front, which doesn't really fit properly. Yeah, it's just not really done properly with the lighting. And on the inside, I mean, that shouldn't be illuminated like that, but it is. I think I'll, in fact, I'll just keep it in manual because we're using a 12-speed, aren't we? And the auto version of that is pretty terrible. But if we turn this thing on, we've got like a weird line there along the screen. A few weird beeps, but we have got that sat-nav there. And the game just crashed on me when I tried to change that display in the middle, so I won't be clicking that again. But otherwise in here again, just the textures, they look okay, but it's just the lighting on them is a bit poor. But if we turn the wipers on, massive wiper blades on that, and if you look at the wiper blades themselves, they are actually quite detailed, which is I suppose a little bit weird to pick up on, but yeah, they do a good job, and they have lined the sort of water up pretty nicely as well. I mean, I love the way that sort of comes down the windscreen. But if we put it in gear, take the brake off, and we'll get going. Now, I just went over to sort of confirm a trailer, and what I found is that this thing likes to slide about a bit. I mean, it's sort of spinning up its wheels. Don't know if you can hear it, but it's definitely doing it. And look, it almost stalled then. It's almost like it hasn't got anti-lock brakes. I mean, look at it. It's just sliding about all over the place. It's the weirdest driving experience I've ever sort of had in a truck. I've never felt one that's wanted to drive like this before. And as you saw then, it almost tried to stall. We got 2 indicator sort of lights, which is a bit unusual. But if we just come through here, let's not wait for that gate to open fully. Let's pull round. And here is the trailer that we're going to be getting today. Reverse back onto it. Normal reversing sounds. Oh, that doesn't quite fit well. That is pretty poor. The trailers don't actually fit this. I'm going to have to do that. The trailer's going to be a little bit higher, but yeah, that's not good at all. But yeah, let's get going. I'm not sure what those weird, almost train noises are like. They're so loud in relation to the truck engine. You can barely hear the truck engine. And it definitely sounds like an engine I've driven before. I think it might be Volvo, but then again it could also be Renault. I'm not too sure. It sounds very familiar. It's definitely not their own engine or whatever. A little bit of a speed bump here. Seems to be very crashy, the suspension. Didn't ride that very well at all. But if we take a right here, I mean, those are so loud. If you don't have your headphones set right, then your ears are going to be hurting a bit. Right, spinning its wheels again. Right, we're going to get past this coach. Come on, 540 horsepower. I mean, this is 22 tons, so a little bit heavy, this trailer. But not massively. Feel it. Oh, this guy doesn't know how to use a roundabout. Do not go around the outside like that. Hopefully I can get past him if he pulls into the other lane, and I can be cheeky and go down the inside, but it'll probably go all the way round and then cut me up, so yeah, I don't know. Looks like he's stopping there. There we go, I think we've managed it okay. But yeah, it really doesn't like to accelerate, this thing. I've got no idea where the sort of eco zone or anything is. I mean, it's got up to 3,000 RPM on there, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of keeping it around 1,500. That seems about right. It seems to have a narrow power band. I think it said in the configurator between 1,000 RPM and 1,450. So that should be about now, but I'm not sure. It's so quiet, the engine, you can't really hear it work, so it's kind of difficult to judge. I mean, look at this, we're up to 110. Seems to be geared very sort of highly. I mean, we're doing 1,300 RPM and we're at 120 kilometers an hour. I mean, that's quite high. And again, the engine is so quiet even at these speeds. There's hardly any wind noise. The rain is sort of running off the windscreen like crazy. I don't think we can speed the wipers up any more than that. No, that's the fastest setting. But yeah, look at this thing go. We're doing 1,500 RPM at sort of just over 130 kph. This thing is flying. Again, look at the reflections. They are super weird. Doesn't seem to be wanting to do any more than that. We're doing 73. Yeah, sort of limiting out there. So we're doing what, 132? Slowing down a bit now because we're going uphill, but again, we've got no retarder. So we're just going to have to slow it down with the brakes, which is probably not good, slowing down from this speed with this weight. I didn't go into that gear properly. Oh dear. Stop. Oh, those noises are horrible. But yeah, do I recommend you having a look at this truck? I mean, It's not bad, it's just not... There's nothing about it really that excites me that much. I thought, I'm presuming it's a Chinese truck, there'd be some sort of really individual features about it, maybe like some Chinese writing on the dashboard, some weird sort of engine startup sounds. I mean, I know it makes those beeps, but it's nothing too massively out of the ordinary. There is no configuration whatsoever, as you saw. I mean, it drives okay, but I'm pretty sure it's using an engine already available, and it's not massively exciting to drive, to be honest. I mean, the gears are quite long, as I said, so it takes a while to get up to speed, but once it's going, it sort of picks up the pace fairly well. But yeah, it's not perhaps as exciting as I thought it would be, but it's not too bad, as I said. So slow it down. So we're going through this bit into, where is it, Voskov we're going to? I'm not too sure. Yeah. And handling's fairly good as well. You have to put a fair bit of lock in, but so that's great. It seems to handle on fairly well. I mean, it moves around a bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, those noises are horrible. I mean, it's not the best looking truck in the world, is it? It's fairly boxy. You know, I like that design feature that flows around the front of the cabin. That isn't too bad, but yeah, it's not the most imaginative design. The seats look really comfortable though. I like the headrest and everything. Not a big fan of the different colours of brown. Probably would be best if it was black with like a contrast stitch or something. But I think we're just following this road round. Traffic lights. Apparently that's over the line. This game is so sensitive. Let's race this police car. Come on, where's the power? Yeah, it really doesn't get up to speed very quickly. Just pull into this lane. And we'll hang whoa, I didn't see that hang a left into here and see what it's like to park. Already turn the lights off. Pull all the way forward. Oh, it keeps bouncing back. There we go. It's not in a rush to reverse back at all. Apparently that's in. Well, I think that'll do. It's accepting it. So let's turn it off and everything off. So if you enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.